Okay, so yeah, Dan Hardy, you've just signed autographs for about 400 fans. Long tiring day.
Yeah.
How do you feel meeting the fans though?
It's awesome. It's still weird to me, you know. I mean, I'm getting a lot more people coming up to me in the street as well, and it's still a little alien to me. But it's good to meet the fans. It's nice to be appreciated. You know, I mean, I've spent years and years training, and finally it's starting to pay off, and people are starting to appreciate what I've been doing for so many years. So it's great. I've always got time for fans. I could sit for another 4 hours and do it again. I'm not sure if my lower back could take it, but you know, it's good for meeting the fans, definitely.
I think apart from like your octagon performances, you've raised your profile with. You're quite good at the smack talk in the building fights, so, and I noticed your latest one is Dong, and you said you're going to put a beating on him, a face beating, and make a show of it. Do you think is it safe to arouse the Dong like that?
I'm not really too concerned about him, to be honest. I know he's dangerous in certain areas, but it's certainly nothing I can't deal with. I just, you know, I'm confident going into the fight. I know that I've got everything I need to beat him already. All I need to do is make sure I'm in shape. But over the next 9 weeks, I'm going to be training, I'm going to be improving. So, you know, the Dan Hardy now could beat Dong Hyun Kim. So in 9 weeks' time, the Dan Hardy's going to be able to put a serious beating on him.
Toughest opponent to date, do you reckon?
I hope so. I like to feel like I'm progressing through. You know, and obviously that's going to improve the standard at the gym as well, because there are more training partners, and you know, there are better athletes going to be coming through at a more regular pace. So yeah, the level's improving. Plus, you know, everyone's raising the game now because they can see, you know, they can see a definite path to get to the UFC. You know, a few years ago, before the UFC got here, it was like, you know, you progress through the shows like, you know, Cage Warriors and Cage Rage or whatever, and you know, you kind of stuck as to where to go after. You know, you don't know whether to move to America or move to Japan and start fighting there. So now there's a definite path, and people are more encouraged to kind of follow it.
You mentioned there about living in the US. I mean, you've been training in your jiu-jitsu at 10th Planet under Eddie Bravo, who's got your purple belt. I mean, what has Eddie kind of added to your game?
Enthusiasm. I think that's the most important thing. I'm excited about jiu-jitsu. You know, I spent years and years doing jiu-jitsu because it was part of the sport, and now, you know, with Eddie's influence, you know, I've started to enjoy it more and started to see, you know, well, I've just gained more enjoyment from it. You know, Eddie makes it interesting, and then I like to bring it back here. And you know, I work with Nathan Leverton, who's my other jiu-jitsu coach, and he kind of tightens it up, and you know, and makes sure my basics are solid, so I can start using the more exciting stuff.
How are things with you, Marcus Davis, these days? Because he stormed out of the cage afterwards, didn't he? And he didn't seem happy. And
yeah, he did. We spoke afterwards briefly in the dressing rooms. He was doing an interview as I walked in, and I kind of stood behind the door, and he was ranting and moaning and stuff. And then once he'd finished the interview, I just went in. I just wanted to shake his hand. You know, regardless of the person, I could hate somebody's guts, and if they stand in the cage with me for 15 minutes and trade punches, and they stay, you know, they stand and trade with me, I can't help but respect the guy. You know, so I just wanted to go in and shake his hand and just let him know that regardless of what had gone on before, I respected him as a fighter. You know, he doesn't like me, and I'm cool with that. You know, I'm not short of friends, and you know, I'm sure myself and Marcus Davis probably won't get on anyway.
are you planning to do anything similar with Dong Hyun Kim? Because we were thinking, the name Dong, you can take the smack talk to a whole new level. Can you handle the Dong?
All 6'1" of Dong.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, every opponent's different. I don't plan any of this. You know, I say what I feel, and I react to my opponent. And you know, I don't think Dong Hyun Kim's going to be the kind of guy that's going to come out saying this and that, and I'm going to throw him, he's going to land on his face or whatever. And you know, if he does, then cool, and I'll give him some back. But you know, I'm sure he's over there in Korea just getting on with his training and has no interest in what I'm doing at all, which is cool, and that, you know, that suits me. I'll be training, and my main focus is winning the fight. It always is, but I like to get involved in the little smack talk. And
to hype the fight or to get inside his head?
I never do anything to intentionally hype a fight, believe it or not. I do it to entertain myself during training camp. I do it to make my teammates laugh. I do it to make the fans laugh. And I like to see what people say on the forums as well. I'll say something stupid, and then I'll go on the forums and say, hey, I wonder who I've upset this time, you know? And that's just my character. I like to poke fun at people, and I poke fun at myself, and you know, just kind of make light of everything. It kind of makes the hard training sessions a little easier.
It don't bother you at all, like you know, see the way Bisping gets a backlash sometimes off the forums, but he's always arrogant, he's got no respect. And like, you got a bit of that after the Davis thing, didn't you?
No matter who you are and what you do, there's always going to be someone that's going to dislike you, you know. And I always quote Cat Williams for this. You know, if you haven't got any haters, you're doing something wrong. People always hate you if you're doing something right, you know. And the more haters I've got, the better, because I'm obviously doing something right. They're paying attention to what I'm doing, and I'm obviously upsetting somebody because of, you know, my success or whatever. So, you know, people can hate, and I'm cool with that. There are certain forums that I particularly get a lot of stick on, and then there are some forums that give me a lot of support. So, you know, it kind of evens out.
What do you walk around at?
I'm 200 dead at the moment, 200 pounds, 90 kilos, just over.
Is there much of a size difference, weight difference between you and Dong?
Kib, I think he's 1 inch taller, and I think he'd probably be a little leaner than me. I'm never particularly athletic looking, I'm always a little soft. But that's mainly due to the fact that I can't keep away from cookies.
Like an English Fedor?
Sorry?
Like an English Fedor. Slightly podgy, deadly killing machine underneath.
That's it. I'm not any part of me's robotic though, like Fedor.